My sister and I have been thick as thieves our whole lives, and she actually just bought her first house. A yellow house. A really nice yellow house. So I was thinking, what's a better housewarming gift than a set of bags? A set of yellow bags. A set of really nice yellow bags. I hope. Let's start off with the dimensions. So in this diagram you can see the bottom of the board is 24 inches by 48 inches. You want to design your legs in a way that it brings the back of the board up 12 inches off the ground. Oh yeah, and the hole is 6-inch diameter. Once I had all of my marks made, I cut miter joints into each corner. I paid extra attention to stay aligned on one side of my line. That way I have accurate cuts. Once all the cuts were made, I brought them back outside and checked their fit. Okay, so now that we've got the 45s cut and I looked and they're matching up really well, before we start securing them together, we're gonna bust out this new Craig jig system that I just got. I've been looking at these for a while. They look really awesome, and this will be my first time using them. It looks like it makes really easy joinery, and that's what I'm into. Fast, strong, quick, and easy. Let's get rolling. After the initial setup, I started with the Craig jig. I made pocket holes about every 8 inches. This should allow the base to secure snugly to the top and prevent warping. The best part is these holes are going to be all on the inside, so from the outside you will see no screws or nails. I picked up this band clamp off of Amazon. Prior to the glue up, I wanted to get it arranged properly, that way I could remove one of the boards, glue it, put it back in place, and then once they're all glued up, just tighten down the band clamp. Okay, so I got all this glued up. It's been a day, it's already dried. I got a bunch of the holes already drilled. That Craig jig is awesome. I still have just one more step to actually really test it out, but so far so good. We're gonna undo these straps, screw on the top, and we're about probably halfway done with the project. So let's get going with it. With the straps removed, we're gonna place some glue around the top, and then we're gonna really test out this Craig jig and start screwing the two pieces together. Overall opinion of the Craig jig system, you ask? It's awesome, let's be real. This thing is great. I don't know how I've lived so long without a pocket hole system. If you are into making anything at all, this should be your first buy. Let me tell you, get this before you get anything. I picked up this planer at a garage sale for $4, and I thought, hey, why not give it a shot on this project? So I had a few areas where the base was just a little bit off of the top, and so I just took the planer to it and trimmed that gap up a little bit with it. Remember that compass you had back in 3rd grade? It's time to go find that. We're going to use it to trace the circle for the hole. You want the separation between the two to be 3 inches because that would be the radius of a circle that has a 6-inch diameter. Following that up with your drill. You want to drill a hole on the inside line of the circle, that way you have a place to insert your jigsaw. Now it's time to work on the legs. You want one of the ends to be rounded over, so I use the compass again and my jigsaw for this. It doesn't have to be perfect. My jigsaw blade was actually pretty dull, so I didn't get as straight of the lines as I wanted to, but after this you want to sand it down, and that's where you really can fine tune the shape. You want the legs about 1.5 inches away from the front. So mark that spot, drill the holes, and then you want to run carriage bolts through the board, through the legs, nuts and washers after that. Once the legs are attached, flip the boards onto their side and use a straight edge, in my case I'm using a scrap piece of wood, as a guide. You want to position the straight edge so that it's flush with the back of the board and a foot away from the top of the board. Then follow that line across, mark it, and make your cut. Now that we have everything cut and assembled, we get to take it all back apart for the fun sanding. So since it's all sanded down, make sure you clean it really good before we start staining. I like to wear gloves, stain stains. I'm using this Rust-Oleum Kona. It's a really dark wood stain, and I chopped up the t-shirt. So we're just gonna put probably 1 coat of this on, and it should look pretty nice. For the design, we're going to start by taping off the perimeter of the board. We're going to use that as a guide to lay our inside tape. You're going to want to overlap the corners and then come back to them with a razor blade to cut off the overlap. That way you have nice clean corners. Once the tape is down, remove the guide tape, and then I like to run like a wet cloth over the tape. That way it sticks better, and when you peel it you get cleaner lines. This took about 4 coats of paint. When you're just finished with your last coat is when you want to peel the tape up. It behaves better when the paint is still a little moist. And yes, I just said it, moist. Now we're going to start with the triangular part of the design. I like to have 2 lines that run up in a diagonal towards the hole. And so we're going to use pretty much the same process we used before. We're going to tape it off and then use your razor blades to get the nice straight lines. Now is the time for touch-ups if needed. Then we're gonna begin the clear coat. I use this polyacrylic. It's really nice. It dries really clear, and it's known to stay pretty clear. It doesn't yellow as much as polyurethane, so that's good. I did about 4 coats of polyacrylic, sanded, and then finished with 1 last coat.
Hi. Okay, so the boards are done. My sister came over a few days ago and actually saw them. She liked them, so that's good, but I wanted to surprise her. So now that she's seen them, I want to add another feature to them. I went on Amazon and bought some LED light strips, and I plan on putting them underneath the board so that you can turn them on and actually be able to play at night. Okay, so from Amazon, I got 2 of these LED light kits. They're like $12 each. And I got some Velcro. So yeah, just go down below into the description and you can find the links to all the products.
I removed the protective backing from the lights to expose the adhesive, and then lined the board with them. I then plugged them in to make sure that they were working. I wanted to secure all the components to the board really well, so that's where the Velcro comes in handy. I actually use super glue too, but let's start with the Velcro. I Velcroed the battery pack, one of the longer cables, and the remote to the board. I noticed that the main connection to the lights wiggles a lot more than I would like. This is where I decided to use hot glue to secure this connection up a little bit. This is a pretty simple build. Most average woodworker, amateur woodworker, could tackle this. This is a great first project. Remember, there's a bunch of different colors and designs that you can use on your set. Cornhole is a great game. It's simple, it's easy to learn, but yet still complicated. Still challenging, still has those nail-biting moments. It can be played with a party, or a group of two, or even by yourself. I've made the mistake of buying a cheap set of boards from the supermarket. The cheap boards have cheap bags. Because of this, you don't learn to play the game properly, and they don't last long. Overall, I believe I spent around $150 on these boards, including the lights and weatherproof bags. So when you compare the longevity of both sets, it's well worth it. If you think you can beat my nephew, please like and subscribe below. And remember guys, this is I'm No Expert, and thank you for watching.
Oh! It was done by Ethan. Alright, keep going.
Want to see you, promise I'll be right there. You can trust me because I